You're plugged into Schaumburg Speaks, a podcast highlighting and celebrating local businesses and community in the Schaumburg area.
Hello and welcome to Schaumburg Speaks, the podcast where we are plugging into business and community, celebrating the people, places, and businesses that make Schaumburg such a vibrant community to live, work, and play. I'm your host, Andrea Biwer, president of the Schaumburg Business Association, and today I am thrilled to welcome a guest whose name is practically famous in the Schaumburg area, and he is known for dining and hospitality here in Schaumburg. Bill, how do I pronounce your last name?
Nevruz.
He is the executive partner with Let Us Entertain You Restaurants, and Bill has been a part of Schaumburg's story for over 2 decades. You don't look like you've been around for 2 decades, but he has, helping shape the dining scene with beloved spots like Shaw's Crab House and Tokio Pub. And he's still growing strong after these 25 anniversary incredible years in the industry. Bill, welcome to Schaumburg Speaks.
Thanks for having me.
So 25 years. So you are celebrating your anniversary just like we are, the Schaumburg Business Association. So let's start at the very beginning. How did you get started with lettuce?
It seems like more than 25 years ago, although it all goes in a flash, as you know.
Yeah,
I was living in North Carolina in the restaurant business, and a great mentor and a friend of mine that I worked for, he said to me one day, you want to do this for the rest of your life. Maybe you should go to a place where it's there's more going on and the waters are a little deeper.
But it was pretty I'm sure in South Carolina. The weather's better, but here's
it was
where
great
it's
down there, but
yeah.
it wasn't the restaurant scene that you get in the Chicagoland area. So he actually recommended that I come and interview with Let Us Entertain You and help arrange that like a great mentor does, and had an opportunity to come to Schaumburg to start with the opening team that was going to open up Shaw's way back when.
So you've been in Schaumburg. Do you live in the area?
I live between Schaumburg and the city, as my
Okay.
responsibilities take me to both.
Sure.
But I did live in Schaumburg for a while we were opening the restaurant, and it's a great community. But having some responsibilities in the city, I just needed to live a bit closer.
Okay, so tell us about your story when you opened Shaw's in 2000. What was that experience like?
It was amazing. We got here, when I arrived, it was a construction site. And so there was lots of going on.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's when they were building One Schaumburg Place
Yeah.
back in the day. And Mayor Daley, was he the mayor here or not Mayor Daley, Mayor Larson
Yeah.
was the mayor at the time.
He was the mayor at the time. And, interestingly, we were talking before we went online about the mayor was one of our first guests when we opened Shaw's. And we have this wonderful tradition of an honors board where they're hand-painted signs that are in the restaurant celebrating our most significant regulars over the years. And he was the number one painted on the board. So guests can still come in and see Mayor Larson's name on the top of our honors board.
Well, that is so special. So how was that experience? So Schaumburg, coming from, where you came from down south, coming here.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
My primary responsibility was to interview and hire everyone. So I interviewed over the course of 3 months, no less than 1,000 people.
Wow.
And obviously I hired far fewer than I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And very tough decisions. I think the community was very excited about working at a place like Shaw's.
Yeah.
And so it was a great experience, though.
Well, it's great food. And so I'm sure you have a lot of memories. Do you have a favorite one that you could share throughout the 2 decades that you've been here?
I do, actually. This was an easy thing to think of. We've had such great events at Shaw's over the years that really brought the community in. And one of my favorite events that we did, ironically enough, as Halloween is tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Is we did a great party celebrating heroes and villains, and it had an opportunity for families to come and kids to dress up, and we did a Sunday brunch, and It was an opportunity for my 4 kids to come in and connect with the restaurant and the rest of the community, and watching so many families have their daughters dressed up as Elsa and their sons dressed up as, Captain America. And I think that's what Shaw's is about, is connecting with the community and generations, and everyone just together.
So if you have any pictures, you're going to have to share with us so we can put those up from that. No, that sounds special. Is there any employees that you first hired from back in the day that are still there?
Yeah, so many. Actually,
that's great.
Our executive sous chef, Nico Guerrero, he started as a line cook when we opened the restaurant. And he's been there with me for 25 years.
I feel like that name, we've heard that name too.
It could be.
Maybe he's been here for our Savor event or...
He's fantastic, and he's just such a wonderful human being, hard worker, and very talented.
Okay, so many of the Schaumburg residents that have been to Shaw's or may have not been to Shaw's, let's get some inside information. What is your favorite thing to order on the menu? I know it's going to be hard. I can tell you what mine is, but...
It's so hard because there's so many things that are wonderful. But I often say, like, what you do is the truth as opposed to what you say. Yeah. And when I eat at Shaw's, which... you
got a hamburger. No, I'm kidding.
Well, it's a very good hamburger.
Yeah, I'm sure. Everything's great there.
I love the sushi. I love poke bowls. I love our fish tacos. I think those are spectacular. But my favorite thing to get is a fish that we've served from the beginning, and it's the Parmesan crusted haddock.
Oh, it sounds yummy.
It is so good. It's not terribly fancy, but it's ridiculously good.
Okay, so that's what I'm getting the next time. So is there any other items that you're known for that people must get?
Yeah, I think that everybody that comes to Shaw's, whether they love oysters or not, should get some oysters.
I have gotten that recently.
Yeah, so if you're an oyster lover, that's your place. If you've never had one, that's the only place you should try to have one. Right. That should be your entry point.
Yeah.
I think the sushi is sneaky good.
So for somebody who's never had oysters before, what is the best way to serve it? Should they have it with stuff on it? Should they have, I like it. I've liked it from the get-go, but many people are scared of it.
Yeah, oysters to me, it's about an emotion. So like I grew up on the East Coast, and I remember the times as a child spilling around in the water in the ocean, and you get that salty, briny flavor in your mouth. And to me, that's what oysters remind me of. So I would say when you first get into the oyster world, just try it like that. And then you can dress it with lemon or hot sauce or cocktail sauce.
So try it plain.
Just try it plain.
You hear that? Try it plain.
Plain,
and then
everyone.
You can start. Okay, so that's good. Now, there's a lot of different types of oysters. What brand would you, or what? Because they're from different areas, right?
Yeah.
So
it starts with the delineation of East Coast, West Coast. Okay. What side are you on?
Okay.
And
it's kind of like baseball. Like,
American League, National League.
Exactly. Okay.
To me,
what's better?
It's not what's better, it's what's better for you. And so like East Coast oysters, I joke because I'm an East Coast guy, are like East Coast people. They're a little salty, a little briny. And West Coast oysters are like West Coast people. There's They're chill. Yeah. There's some vegetable qualities. Okay. There's some melon qualities. I'm more of an East Coast guy. I like that salty, briny flavor of the ocean. But I do enjoy West Coast oysters too. There's a time and place.
All right. So we now have the inside scoop, and thank you for describing that. I never realized that, and now I do.
You won't forget it.
Yeah. So my first job when I started in high school, I worked for a la carte entertainment, which was the Snuggeries back in the day, Moretti's, who are still members, just like you all. And there was a lot of behind-the-scenes things happening in the kitchen. I mean, all good, but stories and all that. Do you have a favorite one that you could share with us on any...
Behind the scenes?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Or anything, going... Because owning a restaurant, everybody's seen, like, the bear and different... Like, is there any
I think
stories?
people would be surprised on what it takes to get this seafood to the restaurant. And... like I tell my kids,
because you have to keep that fresh. It's
yeah,
not like
it's about freshness.
Frozen or
I tell
some.
There's some.
Yeah.
But I tell my kids to when they're out there in the world, don't ever trust a seafood restaurant that isn't either beside the water where the seafood comes from or has an amazing international airport nearby.
Okay, that's good
And
advice.
O'Hare makes this possible,
Right.
like without a doubt. But to get oysters or fish to our restaurant starts very early in the morning when we order that fish, and it comes in on an airplane. It's landing in O'Hare as we're telling our fishmonger how much we want. And so the freshness is important.
What is a fishmonger?
It's
is that what does that
you
stand
call
for?
it's a fishmonger is like a beef butcher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm learning so much about that. So be by an international airport, which we are in Schaumburg, or by the water.
Right, 100%. Or it's not fresh.
Yeah. So what else? What other behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think
how do they handle? Because I've been to your restaurant and other restaurants in the area where it gets busy, like from 5 to 7 or 6 to 7, and they're getting orders all at once. How do they prepare and make sure everybody is getting what they want? Because I've never had a bad experience.
When someone comes into our kitchen for the first time, whether it be a tour or a new employee, and they see what's happening on a busy night, it looks like an ant farm. There are just people going everywhere in crazy different directions, and no one's hitting each other.
Yeah.
And
because they just know. They
they
feel
just
it.
know where to go. They know what to do. And there's a lot of talking. There's some in Spanish. There's some in English, and it's just flying around. But it's like an orchestra happening. And if you don't know what's happening, it looks like chaos. If you do know what's happening, it looks like a nice rhythm.
So you are celebrating the 25th anniversary for Shaw's, your team, and the Schaumburg dining community. What does that mean to you? Like, how does that feel? Because restaurants, it's a hard business, and it's hard to make money. It's hard. People are fickle about food. What is the secret?
I've said that Schaumburg, our restaurant here in Schaumburg, didn't hit its stride until 20 years in. And the reason...
Really?
I believe that from a cultural standpoint, not
Okay.
necessarily from a business standpoint. We've been very successful and blessed to be in a great community that has kept us nice and busy.
Because 20 years ago, not 20, you're saying after 20 years.
After 20.
And that was like right before COVID and all of that.
But I say that because Shaw's has always been, like our store in the city, that is 40 years.
Right.
It is a restaurant of the community in its neighborhood. And once you get to the next generation, then it really becomes like family traditions. And I see in Schaumburg now where young men and women tell me, my parents used to bring me here, and now they're bringing their kids. That to me is a tipping point.
Right. That's the secret to success.
Yeah.
And, we have many businesses like that in Schaumburg, and many are part of the Schaumburg Business Association that have supported us from the get-go. And it's just so great to see. I'm a second generation person here, so I am a second generation customer to Shaw's. So, I could really see that being a 20 years, like 20-year, an important mark. So you've been almost a founding member of the Schaumburg Business Association since we've opened our doors here. How has that helped Shaw's being part of a business association or other organizations like the Tourism Bureau? How has that helped?
Yeah, the SBA has been, it's kind of like that little guardian angel. It's great to have an organization that tethers all the businesses together and the community and is always advocating for those businesses. It's hard to do business in this world.
Yeah.
And to have a community of people working hard on your behalf is amazing.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we appreciate the partnership. You guys have been friends to our chamber, again, since we've started, and excited for the future. I mean, the future is so bright here with all the new opportunities, the new companies moving in. And I know recently we just started hosting our Women in Business swag events there, and your staff is impeccable, and we love having you part of the organization.
It's so important, as a father of 3 girls, like more of that, please.
Yeah. Oh, you got it. I mean, for sure. So people probably are chomping at the bit. I know you are a restaurant. You have beautiful banquet space. Do you cater too? Okay. So how can they contact you? Who should they contact for more information, how they could get your food?
Yeah, I mean, if you call the restaurant, just ask for Megan or Emily, and our private dining and catering gals will take great care of you. You can go to the website and do online forms. It's really, really easy. Or just stop in, and we're always willing to give you a tour of any spaces you want to see any day.
And also you could go to schaumburgbusiness.com, where you are proudly listed, and we'll get you over to Megan and all of that. And I have to say, working with Megan, I've been back for over a year now, and she has been such a delight to work with, and we just can't wait to see what the future brings.
She's top notch. And speaking of the generation, her father used to be a partner in Let Us Entertain You.
Oh, you're kidding me.
And she grew up a kid of the restaurant. So she's got it in her blood.
We are a special bunch. I know that's how I grew up too. Started out in the restaurant industry, went to hotels and chambers and convention bureau, and we're a special breed for sure. So thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
All right.